Hi, Maddie from the future here. I didn't film an intro to this reading vlog, so you're probably going to hear me apologize for this about 12 times through the course of this vlog, but this is my very first reading vlog, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so I just kind of like made it up as I went along. So if you have any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, I would love to hear it, but for now, here's what I read this week. Hi, Maddie from the future. I realize there's no clip of me explaining what I'm reading, it just jumps right into a time lapse. So I'm reading The Shadows, which is Alex North's second novel. He wrote The Whisper Man, and this book follows a group of teenagers who end up killing a fellow classmate, and then 25 years later there seems to be a copycat crime, and they're trying to find the connection between the two. Okay, that's it. Back to the vlog. Okay, so I just got home from work, and I'm whispering so I don't wake up my roommates. So the volume is jank on this clip, that's why. But I spent pretty much all my time at work reading, and I have 100 pages of The Shadows left. I got it yesterday. But literally the chapter that I was on, that I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish this chapter and then I'll sanitize everything and go, ended on a major plot twist. And like, planning on being up for 8:30 tomorrow. But I also want to finish it. So I planned to film this morning, and then it completely slipped my mind. So I did end up staying up till about 1:30 in the morning last night to finish my book, and it was really good. Another 5-star book by Alex North. You know what, I'm gonna move down here because my arm hurts. I'm lazy. I did stay up last night to about 1:30 in the morning in order to finish that book, and it was great. Like, another 5-star novel by Alex North. I just wish he could write them as fast as I could read them. I did get up at 8:30 this morning, like I needed to, but then after I ran out to do what I needed to do, I came back and crashed for a couple extra hours, because I was pretty tired. I love the way that he blends supernatural and natural elements together. It's really, really fascinating, and like always keeps you on your toes. There's like so many... He has such a comprehensive understanding of so many different genres that he's able to pull and like bring together. So he has those like elements of crime fiction where it's like everything in the book is intentional and it's there for some reason. Even if like you can't see the reason while you're reading that portion, it will definitely come up again later on. But then there's also great elements of thriller and horror and mystery, and it's just brought together so beautifully. I just love it. I would love to rant more about this book. My only thing that I'm a little bit sad about is I'm sad that I finished this book so fast, because I pretty much read it in a day. I guess a little more than a day, because it crossed midnight while I was reading it. But I think when I was reading it in the afternoon, there was like music or things that my roommates had going on in the background, so I wasn't like as focused on it, because I'm one of those people that like can't have music going while I'm reading. So I might end up rereading it later on, just because I think there's details and meat in the middle that I feel like I missed out on. Do you ever get that sense sometimes that you like rush through a book so fast that you don't know if like you like fully enjoyed and savored everything? That's kind of what I'm rolling with right now. I'm in the midst of doing laundry now. I'm gonna figure out how to vlog better. I'm hoping as like this kind of weekly vlog goes on that it will make more sense. Sometimes when I'm working and things like that, like I don't want to put time lapses on of me reading, of course, because I'm in like the middle of my job, but I'm gonna try and have a little bit more content, so it's not just like one thing of me reading and then me being like, guess what, I've done the book now. So I'm not sure. I might see if I can find a couple other horror novels, because I think everything else that I have left to read, besides stuff that I'm gonna have to start reading for school, is all kind of like YA type novels again, which I don't mind reading. I love reading them, but I might want to wait a little bit to kind of get back into that genre. I feel like you kind of have to read similar books together, otherwise, like I did earlier when I went from like YA to, I think it was like Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, a bit of whiplash. So this has probably been way too long. I'm gonna shut up now and go back to the vlog. Hello, and welcome to day 2, 3. I think we're on day 3 of this vlog yet. I haven't got the hang of this. We're working on it. So, yesterday, I meant to record a video in the afternoon, because I sat down and combed through my library's ebooks and collected a whole bunch of stuff to read. So, I have Fight Club, I have, I think it's The Inexplicable Logic of You. It's by the same author who wrote Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Universe. And I also have Trustfall. I think it's by Susan Choi. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. So, oh, there's an airplane going by. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I live close to a military base. But before that, I am currently deciding to start today Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. I have had this book for almost a year now, I think, and I have never gotten around to reading it. She's hefty, she's like 613 pages, so maybe the rest of the reading vlog will be me reading that. I don't know. I don't know if it's better to do multiple books in a vlog or to focus on one. We'll see how this one goes. Always happy to hear feedback. Okay, so I'm a couple chapters into Black Leopard, Red Wolf. It's pretty good so far. I'm trying to wrap my head around some more of the fantasy elements of it a little bit, because sometimes I'm like not really sure what's happening and what's happening like within his head, his imaginings, his dreams. There's also some interesting gender conversations happening in the book, along with some... Oh, there's like one explicit scene. I don't really know if it's explicit or if it's just a lot of talk about circumcision. I don't think that counts as explicit, but... yeah, we're just gonna leave it there. I think I'm gonna go for a walk, think through some of the things, and then I'm gonna come back and see where the rest of this journey goes. So I survived my 2-hour long hike, which was a little longer than I thought I was going to, but I got up to the lookout and I was like, you know what, I'm feeling it today, let's just walk all the way to the falls. So now I'm back, I'm very tired, I'm very hungry, so I'm gonna go make some food, and then get back to this book and see what's really going on with it. I genuinely don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this book. And I'm only on page 84. I haven't gone back and watched the last time lapse that I did, but I'm very curious if you can see some of like the expressions that I had on my face while I was reading it. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It's explicit There's a lot of sex scenes, conversations about sex. They're very blunt, too. There's this whole bit about the power of causing a lightning strike in another person. There's also shape-shifting characters. So sometimes, I don't know if you can see where this is going, they bang other people as animals. And I'm trying to keep an open mind, because I know it's mythology. But I fucking can't read it with a straight face. And I don't understand what it has to do. Oh my gosh, dude, now I'm falling asleep. With the story. And in general, I don't understand where the story is going. I don't know what the purpose is. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the first book in a trilogy. So I'm very curious to see how that works out. But I have a lot of thoughts. There was really a section that I just kind of wanted to just record myself reading to you guys to give you a little taste of it, but I don't know if that's too spoilery. I'm not even that far into the book, but I have read way too much about these characters' genitalia, and I know way more information than I ever needed to know about their sex lives. So, that's where we're at. Alright, my dudes, it's Sunday. Why do I do this at the beginning of every... I guess that's an obscene gesture in the UK. Sorry if anyone's watching from the UK. I should get that. Anyways, welcome back. It's Sunday. And I had some time to think last night about Black Leopard Red Wolf. And I read some more of it. And we're bailing. I'm over 100 pages into it now, and I finished. The book is broken up into, I think, 4 parts, and I finished the first part, and I'm just not... I know I'm gonna be, like, dragging myself across the finish line to read all 600 pages, and the sexual content just keeps getting more, and it's so unnecessary. It's like, I don't need to know that he pleasured this chief's wife in explicit detail, because she's only exists on that one page, and as far as I can tell, she's not going to come back up again. There's so much happening. I can't remember whether I talked about it, but there's like, people are banging cats, like big cats, like cheetahs and leopards, and just not my jam. I also can't figure out where, like, the story is going. The fact that I'm, like, over 100 pages in and I'm like, what is the point? Like, what am I supposed to be rooting for the characters to do or to solve? I can't get there. I'm really disappointed because I was super excited for this book. The cover is beautiful, the description sounds fascinating, and I think, like, the elements of, like, mythology from more African countries is really fascinating, and it's something that I don't really know a lot about, but the combination of the unnecessary sexual content and the author likes to bury his meaning for everything in metaphors, which makes it incredibly difficult to, like, track what is happening with the characters and what is happening with different people. I don't think it's something that I'm going to be able to follow through and actually enjoy. So we're gonna stop. I feel like this is the worst reading vlog ever, because the book that I absolutely loved and I powered through, I read most of it at work, so I couldn't vlog myself reading it and my reactions. And then the book that I've vlogged the most about is the book that I'm now bailing on. So maybe I'll finally get it right with the third book that I'm reading now. So we're gonna read Fight Club. I have never seen the movie, but I have had the plot twist spoiled for me, so that kind of sucks. But the author, I can try and pronounce the name, Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I've definitely like reblogged and saved a lot of quotes or things from him that I've seen floating around on the internet, but I've never actually read anything by him, so I feel like I need to. I've actually been debating about doing like a month where I just like read authors whose like quotes I constantly say but whose books I have never read. But yeah, I got Fight Club out of the library, so we're gonna try this and see how it goes. My day ended up going a little bit differently today. I had registered for this conference that I wanted to attend this morning. Well, it turned out to be this morning. I thought it was this evening, and then I realized I was really dumb, and when I converted the times from UK to Canadian time, like Eastern Standard Time, I did it backwards. So I added 5 hours instead of subtracting it, because I'm used to like, I have family in the UK, so I'm used to like figuring out what time it is for them instead of doing it backwards. So I woke up this morning and realized, oh wait, those things aren't this evening, they're actually this morning. So I ended up tuning into those a little bit this morning, and then going for a walk to a coffee shop near me to get a little snack, and then coming back here. I might be going book shopping later this week, so I've also been spending some time putting some of that together. I think I'm gonna go read some more Fight Club now. I feel like this vlog is a disaster. Please tell me what you think of this. I'm new to the whole vlogging thing. I don't know what parts of my life people are interested in or what is boring, and I'm like trying to find a good balance between both. So we're working on it. If there's parts of this you hate, let me know. If there's parts of this you love, also let me know. Good morning and happy Monday, everyone. If you're Canadian, I hope you're enjoying your long weekend. If you're not Canadian, I guess I hope you're enjoying your regular weekend. I don't know if other countries have a holiday today. Anyways, I've been reading Fight Club and I've been really enjoying it so far. There's definitely like an element of mystery, and the writing style is very different from what I was anticipating, but I'm still really enjoying it. So I think I'm gonna try and finish that up today and then pick another book to start. Hello, we're back at my favorite spot on the floor. So I just finished Fight Club and I loved it. I put it down as 4 stars on my Goodreads right now, but I might actually bump it up to 5. There were like a couple things that weren't, I don't want to use the word politically correct because that gets overused and used as a tool against people who are fighting for good things a lot, but there was a couple things that didn't sit right with me, but I think that has to do with the content of the novel and the message that it was trying to make, as well as a little bit of the time period that it was written in. So essentially the book kind of revolves around this idea of living but not really being alive. So the main character, like our narrator, basically kind of feels like dead on his feet. He's going to a job that he doesn't love, and his life has just basically become like this IKEA furniture and all this stuff that he lives with that he doesn't really appreciate or enjoy. So he wants something that makes him feel alive, and the violence that Fight Club brings out in him is something that like reminds him of what it's like to die so that he can remember how to live. There's a really good quote that explained it better, and it's left my brain right now. There's a really interesting twist to it as well, but just something about the way that the book was written, you like never, like you were always filling in gaps. You never fully understood what was happening, and it was really interesting to me because it kept me reading and it kept me thinking about what was happening. He does a lot of really interesting stuff with the ways that he writes the book. So there's things that get brought up at the beginning that keep recurring over and over throughout the book. So he talks about, I think it's these Reader Digest magazines where they talk about like issues people have with their bodies, where they're referred to as like Joe or Jill's whatever body part. So it would be like, oh, Joe's stomach. So then as the book like continues on, there's all these moments where he's like, I'm Joe's like inflamed bowels, or like different body parts that kind of match what he's feeling and the emotions in that point in time. And I thought that was really fascinating. There was just so much that this book had to say about like masculinity, but also about like life and the way that we're living our lives that like feels very current to this moment, because I think there's a lot of people who are really getting stuck in that like 9 to 5, what am I living for? I'm just kind of sleepwalking through life. And this book really looks at like what it takes to get out of that pattern, but also the dangers of becoming so distanced from society that you don't feel your actions or your impacts on it anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. That might be a little too highbrow, but I don't want to get into it too much more without spoiling the book. So yeah, that was a good pick-me-up after trying to read Black Leopard, Red Wolf. There was some sexual content in this one, but not nearly to the extent that that book had. And I loved it. I would definitely recommend. I'm trying to pick which book I want to read next. The 2 other books that I have checked out right now, I'm not really feeling. I just don't really think it'll be like keep me in the flow that I'm in right now. But one of my favorite books of all time is The Broken Tea Glass by Emily Arsenault. It's an absolutely fascinating and brilliantly done mystery, and I realized that my library has almost all of her other books available on ebook. So I think I'm going to pick one of those out, and I will be starting that. I'll probably give you guys a heads up of what it's about before I start reading. Other than that, I have a couple little admin tasks that I have to do for my job and getting ready for school this week, so I'm probably going to finish those up, and then it's a really nice day outside. We had a massive thunderstorm last night that woke me up at 2 a.m. The lightning was like so strong it was lighting up my whole room. But it's nice out now, so I think I'm going to go for a walk and try and get some exercise in before I start my shift at 4:30. So that's everything that's going on with me. I'll talk to you again in a bit. Don't mind my very red face. The joys of being incredibly pale and doing even the littlest exercise. So I'm gonna offload a bunch of stuff on my phone because my storage is getting full and I need to record some stuff for work later on today, and then I'm gonna go back outside because for some reason I'm just really into vitamin D this week, and I'm gonna start The Leaf Reader by Emily Arsenault. So it basically follows, I pulled up the description because sometimes I'm garbage at explaining books. So it follows this character, Marnie Wells, who kind of like creeps people out, and people have just kind of like accepted that she's very odd. So when she finds this book about reading tea leaves and she starts reading everyone's tea leaves, everyone's just like, sounds like something she would do. So then a basketball player asks her for a reading, and then he starts getting these because he's been getting emails from someone who used to be his best friend who disappeared and is presumed dead. So as the readings start to seem more real and they kind of get more entwined, things start to get a little bit more dangerous, and they're trying to figure out what their connection is and what the connection is between the tea leaves before it gets deadly. I think I did an okay job of summarizing that without reading it verbatim. So that's what's on the rest of the docket for today. Hello, and welcome to the first day of school, which means stress. I'm always fine once the semester gets going, but it's always like seeing all my syllabuses at once and all the assignments. I'm like, especially This year, it's for the second time I'm doing a course overload, which means that I'm taking, most students take 5 classes per semester, and I'm taking 6, which you have to request specially for the university to let you do. Basically, they're just, yeah, you're not failing, you should be fine, on top of working, because I'm a psychopath. I think I should be okay, but it's just looking like a lot right now. We're fine. Everything is fine. It's lunchtime, as you can tell by my lovely, lovely leftovers. I'm at that like weird state where the leftovers that I have aren't enough for 2 meals, but it's too much for 1, and I don't know what to do with it, so that's where we're at right now. I started editing the vlog last night, and it's already like over 20 minutes long, so I've been filming for, I think, about a week-ish now. I don't think we're quite at a week, but probably 5 or 6 days. So I'm thinking my plan is to finish up the book that I'm reading, and then we'll probably call it an end to the vlog there. I don't really know how to end it without just being like, okay, bye. So we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. I'm 50% of the way through the Leaf Reader, and it's okay so far. I'm a little disappointed because I liked the Broken Tea Glass so much. I don't think this book is listed as YA. I've been meaning to double check that because it does take place in a high school. So unfortunately you have some of that like gross high school drama that I don't really care about. It's the whole like, why can't a male identified individual and a female identified individual just be friends without people jumping to conclusions? Yeah. It's very heteronormative, this book. That's how I'm feeling about it right now. And I also thought the tea leaves were gonna be a little more ooky spooky with the way that they got involved in the mystery. And they haven't really gotten there yet. Maybe there's more to come, but we'll see. We did it, folks. We made it to the end of this reading vlog. I just did a kick, but you can't see it because it's not on camera. I finished the Leaf Reader. It was okay. I gave it like 3 stars, and 3 stars for me is kind of like my... I wasn't like in love with it, this is really good, I want to read it again. But also like, I would recommend it to someone as something that would be enjoyable. So that's my thoughts on that. It did turn out that it's a YA, because I'm dumb and I didn't realize that. I also just genuinely didn't know that she wrote YA books. And I did, some of the just relationship teen drama stuff was like a little too run-of-the-mill for me. And there was kind of like a little bit of a weird twist that felt like out of place in the story in the middle. And I also kind of wished, the more I talk about it, the more it sounds like I'm bashing it. But there was also elements of it that I really, like I wish we got more to the mystery because I didn't feel like I was in a position where I could have solved it myself, which is, I think, important. I think your reader should have all the information that they would be able to come to the same conclusions as the people in the book. So that's my thoughts on that. I have 48 books read of the 50 books goal I set out for myself this year. So we're getting there. I'm really hoping to crush it by the end of September. And we're rolling. We're rolling. We're making progress. I don't know how to end this vlog, so I'm just gonna say thanks for watching. If you stuck it through the whole video to here, I am impressed. Congratulations, and I'll see you all next week.